Hi, good evening to everybody that have uh, listened this lecture up through the internet. It is a pleasure for all the people located here today, present the different projects that we are developing related with training and different medical technologies for education. Uh, we have a little delay for the starting due to technical problems with the connection with all the partner. So I will to apologize this delay. Trying to recover the time. I will try to have short presentation from my side, and we will continue with the rest of the other people. Um, I will go directly through the first presentation. Uh, My name is Blas Pagador. I am going to present you the KTS game that is a technical solution developing in the framework of the Learning Serious Game for Surgical Skill Training project, KRUN Training System. This project will be developed during the last 2 years, and we are going to present this evening the different background objectives and results that we have obtained. Almost all our evidences that is coming for the clinical side, knowing perfectly the minimal invasive surgery advantage, the shorter recovery time, a lower morbidity, and the reduction or overall cost. But it is important to know too that these surgical techniques requires specific skills on the side of surgeons that are completely different for the open surgery. We need to provide our medical students and our residents with new tools for training these skills. Our main focus in the KTS project were the psychomotor skills that are usually practiced in-person training courses, developing in a specific training center that most of the time are not fully available for the whole community, and they have different physical conditions. Usually, the students and the residents starting using box trainer, virtual reality simulators, or whatever device for increase his skills. And after that, they continue using animal models to put in final in final decisions all the acquired skill during the first steps before going directly to the patients. This process usually is long and requires a long time of practice for beginners students. The main barrier for this is the wet spirit of training surgeons. We think that using ICT and e-learning techniques, we can solve these problems, and this is one of the main objectives of our game. What is the role of games in this kind of problems? As you know, serious gaming is a new emerging technique where the games are specifically designed to solve more things that fun himself. We'll try to explain how this works in our specific solution. There are a lot of professionals and a lot of training activities that use serious gaming for the training of his professionals, and we'll try to use it now for surgical training. So the KTS project have designed, developed, and at this moment we are validating the serious game developed. It is specifically designed for students and young surgeons, residents that are starting his career in hospitals. Furthermore, we try to promote the use of these kind of technologies in a remote way. You can see that the consortium that have developed this project is really spread over all the Europe, and we have partners with a lot of experience in the training needs of the surgeons. There are other partners with more technical background that have developed different algorithms or technical tasks in the projects. Uh, the project are leading by Jesus Uso Minimal Invasive Center, located in Spain. There are other partners from Greece that is a company, Avaga Technologies, devoted to the programming and construction of serious gaming. There are other two clinical partners, Medis Foundation in Romania and Semmelweis University in Hungary, that have a lot of experience for communication and contact with surgeons. They are devoting for a long time to training medical students. And the last partner, I'm sorry, not the last, other partner is in Germany, more focusing the pedagogical models of the game. Finally, here in Spain, the Universidad Politécnica de Madrid are devoted to the tracking of the tools in the game. We have followed the work plan designed at the beginning of the project, trying to obtain the needs of the surgeons using co-creation workshops that are really interactive meetings with young students and young surgeons in order to know what are they expecting for the game, what are their needs during the training process, and how we need to design and create the software to meet with these needs. After that, we have created the general structure of the game, designing all the parts, all the components of the technical documents to programming the platform. We have developing of the content, and finally we are finishing now the validation plan through the four main clinical partners that are involved in the projects. You can see here in the picture how we are working with different people all over the Europe in the four different countries in order to make a global solution for all needs, for all different needs in Europe. Here you can see the minimal component that you need to run the game. This is a small white box that is completely empty, and it's used to track the real surgical tools in order to move the virtual ones. You need a computer to run the software, and when you are moving the real tools in the box trainer, the camera it's recording the real sticks, and it's transforming this real movement in virtual movement inside of the game. This is a simple way to proceed. It's low cost. It's not really expensive because the normal components usually are cheaper. This is a comparison between the reality, so on the right side, with the virtual environment, so in the left side. You have seen later that we have designed a history for the training. We are trying to create a background in the game that is located in the old ancient. Young alchemists are working to be a good alchemist and try to find the Philosopher's Stone, and they have a book recipe with the rules to achieve this. You can see here the different videos that are available through our YouTube channel in internet. So you can see every time that you want, and we have tried to develop different scenarios with a lot of testing and a lot of tasks in order to achieve learning objective, the learning objective to achieve the clinical skills, the psychomotor laparoscopic skills. I don't want to show you more videos because all of them are available in our YouTube channel. So maybe the most important thing is explain that we have performing a really critical and extensive validation in the 4 countries involved in the projects. We have trying to test with medical students and surgical residents in different ways, not only the usability and the interaction with the game, but we are trying to test too the technical and the pedagogical point of view of the serious game. We'll try to finish all of this work before the end of the year, and will be all the rest available for the beginning of the next year. Finally, I would like to put here some any contact point for people that will be interested in obtain more information. You can go through our YouTube channel using our webpage or maybe our email. If you have any comment or any question, please contact us, and we will be happy to answer all your doubt. Thank you very much for your attention, and I will go directly to just 1 minute. I'm going to close all the things. I will go directly to the presentation of the next speaker. He is Dr. Javier Sanchez. He is the quality and training coordinator in the Minimal Invasive Surgery Center, and he are going to show the ESCOLAR projects that it's developing in collaboration with different associations here in Spain. I'm going to give him the computer, and in some seconds, he will start the presentation. Just 1 minute. Voy a desconectar esto un segundito. Hello to everybody, good afternoon. Claro. ¿Lanzo la presentación ya? Sí. Sí, sí, sí. Okay. Hello to everybody. Do you hear me currently?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hi, Susan.
Hi.
Okay, good afternoon to everybody. First of all, I want to thank to the organization of this workshop
for the invitation to giving us the opportunity to show you our project. I am Javier Sanchez, as told before Blas, the training coordinator of new invasive surgery here in Cáceres. However, there are many people worked in this area. With PET and with Scolab will be a tool for the objective evaluation of the capacities that a surgeon sought to perform several surgical techniques. As is shown in Spain and a similar way in the rest of Europe, the education of urology demands the study in the university and then a period of residence in a hospital for 5 years. During this time, the evaluation to practical exam, the evaluation to a surgeon is educational and continuous. That is, through theoretical and practical exam and direct vision by the tutors. This is called formal education, educación reglada in Spanish, and follows an official study plan established in all cases by the national government. From this moment, the training of the medical professional is going to depend on their interests, ability, and possibilities. This way, after finishes the residence, the urologist doesn't have obligation to surrender to any more evaluation. However, within the health quality program of the different regional government has been developed for years about quality accreditation program for units of surgical service in the hospital. We wonder then, is this system the best for the surgeon training? When we carry out an activity, we do it according to our capacities. The result for the same activity can be quite different. All this has to do with a concept, competence, which depending in English has the condition of capable ability. Oh, this is my baby, the first time he stood showing his competencies. If we attend to the traditional educational model for surgery, the surgeon has a very passive role. The system continues the mantra of see one, do one, teach one, and in a complementary way, they are considered to be the skill and the knowledge. It's the expert tutor who decides who does every activity in the hospital. But this traditional method has been already questioned, and in some article, it's worth referring to what the surgeon were thinking about this training system. Also taking into account the idea, experience can be doing the wrong thing over and over again. We see that in the last year, there have appeared many studies where one referring to certain terms to be used in an ambiguous way. It seems that these concepts are not well understood. But in fact, what is what intervene in the training of the surgeons? For us, there are all these concepts, all of them observable and measurable concepts. That is instead shape the competencies of the surgeon, in our opinion. So we are developing a new training model where the surgeon is the center of everything. And for the same one, it's considered at the same level, its knowledge, skill, and attitude, giving place to the surgical competencies that are different like technical knowledge, clinical experience, and skill to apply it in the definition and resolution of clinical problems. It is true that there is already some precedent for the objective evaluation of the capacities of the surgeons, both in general and in a specific situation for urology, for example. Also, it has been considered to be tools for conventional surgery, like OSATs, and specific for laparoscopy, like the GOALs. In the same way, there is some evaluation method for non-technical skills, like the NOTEX. However, and this is the origin of Scolab project, my phone is this one. Please. Okay. However, and this is the origin of Scolab project, I said, the current system present some lacks. We have certain degree of subjectivity in the evaluation of a surgeons with the traditional system of parameters evaluation by Likert scale. There is not a systematic summary of no technical skill. A follow-up of the different evaluation is not described. Neither are few basic parameters associated with sanitary quality results. And finally, there's not a database of competencies associated with the different surgical techniques, with a graduation of the proof level. As a sample, if we take into consideration a typical OSAT with several competencies in evaluation, respect for the tissue, time of motion, knowledge and handling of instrument, flow dot operation, use of assistant, and knowledge of a specific procedure, we see that it's considered for a surgical action an evaluation from 1 to 5 points, being 1 the lowest value. Nevertheless, they evaluate only the values 1, 3, and 5. But what happened with 2 and 4? When we are in a 2 situation, for example, we propose to indicate in a clear and definite way the 5 point. The system has to allow an expert to know perfectly in what level is the sergeant for each evaluated competences. The idea is to transform the Likert skill into a system one-to-one, like this. We have tried to enumerate all the competences. Also, each of them we have defined and graduated by the expert panel. This way, we have established a relation of a common competence in all the skill and a relation of the specific competencies of every surgical skill. With all information, we are developing also the first practical dictionary of surgical competencies. We have begun for urology because in this file an increase needs to sit, but the system is extrapolated to the other surgical specialty as gynecology or general surgery. After consultation with several experts in neurology surgery, we conclude that it was necessary at least consider all these surgical techniques, total nephrectomy, partial nephrectomy, radical prostatectomy, pyeloplasty, rigid or uteroscopy and raise, and in the file of microsurgery, vasovasostomy, and vascular microsurgery. For each of these considered blocks, laparoscopy, endourology, and microsurgery, we have to find one bibliographical complete revision to compile the competencies of interest for urological surgery. I don't want to stop for not losing a lot of time. Besides, as I said before, we have considered the not technical skill too, a skill that they don't have to see with the surgical capacity, but are indispensable for the development of the surgery, as the communication with the surgical team, leadership and manager, or decision making. In addition, we want to validate the system, of course, with an apparent and content validation, in a manner that we are going to take this new tool through a double competent validation comparative with a golden standard. And throughout a validation between evaluator and integrator, we look for similar criteria to define a minimum parameters. When we establish the benchmark with the help of expert surgeons, we can set the minimum value we want for a particular competence, as you can see in this example. As soon as the system works start, the pupil is evaluated and it is compared the result with the reference levels. With it, we will have the necessary information to know what competence the surgeon must improve and in which it is well. Thus, we will be able to establish economics and organization effort in the right direction. And little by little, we can adapt the training system to the real need that we have, based even on an objective evaluation. Contain an ideal labeling all the competencies. We will consider the competencies for a concrete workplace in a certain surgical service of a hospital. Therefore, our team has developed the ESCOLAP project, a acronym in English for Evaluation System for Surgical Competencies on Laparoscopy. For its development, we consider 3 levels: basic, which measures basic skill on the simulator; advanced, which evaluates a specific skill on experimental model, animal model; and premium, which evaluates technical and non-technical skill of patient in a hospital center and based on health outcome. We have defined the training objective that for a relationship of general skill, other specific to each surgical technique considered, and a rating system from 1 to 5 with a specific definition of each of the values. Right now, we have completed the validation on simulator of animal model for prostatectomy, for radical prostatectomy. So we will try to implement ESCOLAP in 2 hospitals in Andalusia in the next month. Before concluding, I want to mention to people and institutions that are working on these projects. Their work is essential and necessary for proper development. Okay, for any sort of question, please put me a mail or contact through this line. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Javier, for your presentation. We have tried to connect with our colleagues from Poland. Yeah, that's the turn of Joanna Bernica. I don't know if we have solved the technical problem. Just give me 1 second to ask for my colleagues that are solving the connection. In negative case, we will continue with the presentation of Dr. Susan Sok that are present the Sure TTT project, focusing on developing a professional profile for surgical trainer. Just 1 second to check if the connection.
Okay. Can you see me?
Sorry, Susan?
Yeah, plus can you see our PowerPoint? No?
I don't hear very well, sorry. The sound is not the best, really.
Hi, Susan. My colleagues tell me that we have trying to connect again, but I give you the lead of the presentation, and you can start your lecture. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. We try it again.
I think that you have now the. You have in the central point of the meeting, so now perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Now you can see us?
Yes, perfectly.
Yes, okay, fine. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for invitation for joining this meeting. I welcome you warmly at the HTWK, the Leipzig University of Applied Sciences. It is the second largest university in Leipzig with 6,200 enrolled students and 7 faculties. And we have students from more than 70 countries here at our university. My workplace is located at the HTWK Research Center for Life Sciences and Engineering. It is in the east of Leipzig. You can see a photograph of it down there. And there is to be found our research group, Innovative Surgical Training Technologies, ISTT. One of the main concerns of ISTT is to develop and to launch innovative mechatronical systems for simulation training in surgery. For example, this picture shows you our real spine model, a system for the training of interventions on the lumbar spine. Surgical specialists and trainees praise it for the highly realistic anatomical structures, including intraoperative blood flow. This picture is a glance into the situs, how the trainees see it as well while performing a discectomy training. This brings us to another main focus of ISTT, the execution of surgical trainings, using, of course, our own simulation systems. We offer those trainings in-house in our own training OR, as to be seen here, and outside at cooperating hospitals and training centers. And last but not least, we as an interdisciplinary group are at the same time quite active in educational research and training. One of our last projects was called ITOM. It aimed to develop and validate a systematic trainers training. The main objective was to prepare consultants for supervising trainees in their training courses, especially on simulation systems. It should assist the optimization of pedagogic, didactical, and as well as technological competencies of the surgeons. We realized this project 2010 to 12 together with the Jesus Uzon Minimally Invasive Surgery Center, and we all gained a lot of interesting insights into the everyday teaching and learning practice of surgical education in Germany and in Spain. One part of the project was an expert interview study, and the grid of the left side you can see shows the extent of interests on various pedagogical subjects concerning a sustainable training of the trainers, meaning a TTT for teaching surgeons. To these categories of the axis, we will come back just in 1 minute. Since we at ITOM found out that there's a general need to improve pedagogic didactical competencies of the teaching surgeons, our idea was, let's follow the course of the ITOM project on a European level. Further partners were found immediately. It was the Department of Surgical Research and Training at Semmelweis University and the MEDIS Foundation in Romania, all well known by you, I'm sure. Almost at the same time was launched the first call of the new European program Erasmus+. And this super program, as you know, supports and coordinates all of the EU education, youth and sports initiatives. In section 2 or key activity 2, it promotes cooperations for innovation and the exchange of good practices. This is where we applied with our project idea and the concept later on as a strategic partnership. Erasmus is not made for scientific projects as we all know it traditionally, ending up with only recommendations for changing praxis. It is focusing activities that will change practice after the project lifecycle. Main workups of the whole program guide are therefore again and again effect, impact and change. Results, all efforts of the project are measured along this vocabulary, and results like the so-called intellectual outputs are to be evaluated and disseminated. And all of them will be published on a particular EU project platform. With our idea to improve abilities of teaching personnel, we belong to the segment of vocational training. This is a new experience for us. In former times, we always worked in panels like higher education or technological research. To make it short, our project appraisal was accepted and we now work according to this defined process course on the left side, producing outputs as shown on the right side. As you can see, as the first and very extensive stage of the process, we conducted a transnational survey containing a document study about national guidelines and frameworks for specialty training and a questionnaire survey. On the basis of these survey results, we were able to define the first draft of a professional profile of the surgical trainer, containing the competencies required to work effectively as a teaching surgeon in specialty training. And first means here, first ever. To our knowledge, there's no comparable definition done before in the scientific community. And this makes me proud, and I hope my colleagues as well. At the moment, we are at the end of stage 2, the development of a joint curriculum based on our findings and according to the defined profile. Next step is the elaboration of detailed course plans and materials so that we can test and validate the training concepts in the next year. I apologize for not presenting here detailed results of the process so far. The reason is that we plan a scientific publication, and an article in scientific journals will only be accepted if it is an original submission, so not published in any other way before. But what I can do is to illustrate a bit the covered track so far. First is to show you here the key categories of our project. You remember the list of 12 abilities or even roles, some files before. This list was produced by the Scottish doctors in the year 2000 after intensive research of requirements of the contemporary teacher in medical schools, meaning undergraduate education. The list was later on revised by the Tomorrow's Doctors, limited to 6 key roles of a teacher in specialty training. All panels of postgraduate medical education. The central question in our project now is, what about the surgical trainer? Can we adopt the model to describe the requirements of teaching in surgical training? As I told you, we obtained a lot of answers from our initial survey, so we were able to formulate more detailed competences of surgical trainers. And we did this according to the guideline of ECVET. This is the European credit system for vocational education and training. Here, for example, for the competences to fulfill the role of the surgical trainer as a planner, sorry. The surgical trainer as a planner. There is one core competence formulated and 2 sub-competences, as you can see. And each of these competences is now specified by the competence of required knowledges, skills, and attitudes. So this procedure we did for all of the roles we work with. And we produced a very long list. To deliver a complex professional profile is one thing. To assist people at developing those competencies, one needs a detailed curriculum. I think you agree. For a curriculum for training the trainers. So this was our next task. For teaching and learning the defined roles, we now recommended the main learning objectives, the learning contents, and the basic methodology for each role. And this is the point we are at the moment. We will meet each other in January in Leipzig for our next project meeting and discuss the tasks of the next year. I'm looking forward to it. Some last comment maybe. In our project we keep a complex workload on our shoulders, and I'm very happy to work with partners who are familiar to us, who are specialists in surgical education already for a long time, and who are disciplined working according to a timed project plan. The only thing I miss is the direct contact from time to time. No mail messages or online conferences can substitute this. For our next project application, I would think of planning more project meetings, even if it limits other budget categories. That's it for the moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Well, we will try to continue to the program. Let me check from Poland. Hi, Poland.
Hi, hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello? Okay,
Yeah.
do you hear me?
Yeah, can you check your presentation, please?
Okay, of course. Moment.
Yeah, okay. Don't worry. Estamos llegando, le pedí que cheque la presentación. Sí, claro.
Unfortunately, I can't find this share window.
On the left side of
On the left side, move the point of the map, please.
Yes, it's
You have a green,
looking on the left side. Maybe
you should have a screen green on the left side. The second icon that appear
Yeah,
in the...
yeah, but I don't have this screen.
You have
From
to
screen.
presentation and afterwards select the PowerPoint. Remember the
Yeah, but I don't have this screen.
Joanna, that is the same testing that we developed on Friday. Do you have on your
I understand you,
do you have on your video?
but I don't have connection with video. I don't know why.
You have your video to send us the presentation.
Maybe can you cover my screen once again?
Excuse me?
Because I had help of your colleagues a minute ago, and I saw the presentation
Yeah.
of the colleague from Germany, but now but now I don't have I don't see you and only hear you. So my menu is
Not a problem. You need to share your desktop, and you must enable your video connection, your camera,
it doesn't matter at all.
and you need to push the second icon on the left side.
yes. The second, I understand, but the second icon is contacts in my.
The name of the icon is screen share. It's a green screen, the icon.
It's like a small display, like a monitor.
Yeah. I know what you mean, but I don't have this.
Yeah.
Okay, Joanna, I was really sorry for that, but I understand that we cannot maintain this. All these people that are watching with this technical problem again. So I'm so sorry, but I think that we need to go
Continue.
to the new presentation.
Okay. I will try to find it.
Patient to present the result of the Train for Atomics project.
Okay.
That is a really interesting project that all the people must know, but I think that it's not possible to make it more effort from the technical side.
Okay.
So sorry, Joanna. You can keep it with us and enjoy the next presentation.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna.
So we continue with the next and the final presentation. Okay. Let's add some minutes for prepare the presentation, please.
So the next lecture will be focused on the MITIC project. This is a specialized training course focusing on nursing, and will be presented by Juan Francisco Ortega, another researcher from the Minimal Invasive Surgery Center. I hope that you can enjoy the presentation.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I want to thank the invitation to present the MITIC project, whose acronym means Technological Modernization and Innovation Based on Information and Communication Technologies in Strategic and Traditional Sectors. This project included several activities and tasks, and we were directly involved in the activity 3, and more precisely in the task 3, Information and Communication Technologies Basic Learning for the specialization in minimally invasive surgery of the surgical team. This project has taking place under the operational program of cross-border cooperation Spain-Portugal, OCTEP, having started in December 2013 and has finished at September 2015. The two partners involved in this project were our center from Spain and the Superior Head School of the Polytechnic Institute of Porto Alegre from Portugal. The main objective of this project was to establish a cross-border cooperation to develop a training system based on information and communication technologies that provides an useful and simple tool for all components of the surgical team to be able to specialize in the most advanced, minimally invasive surgical techniques. The project development was divided in work package. Work package 1, establishment of clinical and technological requirements. Work package 2, development of a pedagogical model. Work package 3, development of surgical didactic contents. And work package 4, the final system validation. Work package 5, management and diffusion, was overall transferred to the course of the project. As a brief summary, we can say that the minimally invasive surgery is a new surgical technique, so the need to train the surgical team arises, including nurses. The combination of ICT with a basic competency-based pedagogical model can improve the efficacy and the quality of the surgical team. This combination has been achieved in this project, where a web environment has been created to provide a theoretical model of a laparoscopic training course for nurses created, which is associated to a practical and in-person practical module, resulting both in the blended learning. First results obtained in this project were different didactic content related to laparoscopy, including images, videos, endoscopic video related to corresponding to surgical intervention performed at our center, and interactive 3D design. These 3D designs have been implemented, allowing the user to perform different functionalities such as rotating model, move it, create views, add comments, and others. These different 3D designs of laparoscopic instrumental and equipment have been implemented during the project. Based on this didactic content, a laparoscopic training course for nurses has been created called LabNurs. This course consists of 2 modules, a theoretical module to be conducted via the online, and an in-person practical module. The theoretical online module consists of these 9 sections: introduction, ergonomics, instrumental and equipment, laparoscopy for nursing, diagnostic techniques of laparoscopic approach in the digestive system, in the female-genital system, and in the urinary system, and finally, laparoscopic techniques. On the other hand, the in-person practical module consists of these 3 sections: material handling, cutting and suturing techniques in cards, and solving the most frequent technical complications during surgery. Here we can see in more detail the schemes of the 9 section. We will see them quickly. Only I want to show you that the different sections are divided in lesson and sub-lesson. The online theoretical module has been implemented through an e-learning web environment developed with a web application model. We can access to this platform through this link, and if we access to it, we can find the 9 section in which is divided the theoretical part of the course. Each of these sections consists of a linear set of content pages corresponding to the structure of lesson and sublesson that I presented to you previously. These content pages allows the user a self-directed learning. At the end of each section, a questionnaire to assess the acquired knowledge has been included, and also a means of communication between users, such as chat or forum, have been included in the platform for a collaborative learning. Necessary to perform a user level validation to achieve a learning web environment of high quality. The validation plan designed in this project consists of 2 stages, the pilot study and the final test. The pilot study tries to identify the necessary improvements to be incorporated in the web platform before the final test. And a small sample of technical staff and professional nurses have carried out this pilot study, and the final test tries to get the perception and satisfaction of end users with the platform. A larger sample of nurses have carried out this final test, performing the laparoscopy training course created. In the pilot study, consisted of the validation of functionality, content, and usability. The functionality validation has been performed by 2 technical experts with a test list, and the content validation and usability validation have been performed by 4 expert nurses, 2 from Spain and 2 from Portugal, with surveys and checklists. The test consisted of the validation of sociability, usability, perception and satisfaction, and finally a comparative study. A wide sample of nurses from Spain and from Portugal have performed this validation. And
Yeah. Hello.
To conclude, the main performance and result indicators achieved in this project have been: 1 supported project for production of digital educational content, 2 public entities benefited with the execution of the project, 13 researchers benefited of the project development, 1 line of investigation supported at research centers, 1 new cross-border line of investigation created, 7 project meetings for monitoring or management, 1 study performed, and 7 research work publications. Thank you for your attention.
Okay. So that's all. Thank you very much for your attention. I don't know if anybody in the audience have any question. We can see here the question that all the people can send us. For the moment, there is no question available. So if any of the present have question for any of the project, please tell us and we can have a short discussion about the result, about the interest of any of other project, because we have presented here the Scholar project that maybe is interesting with the previous conversation that we have related with the future possible conversation. So anything that you have in mind, we can discuss it together. Here for the audience, of the record, do you think that
I think that pretty valuable. So the research they have really and concerning the cure topic, and I think that I think we should realize that it has a very important role in the last education, nurse education. What is your impression that the target group had a really advantage? Or what is your general should be widespread in other countries, and or you would like to apply only local Portugal-Spain relation?
I'm going to do a short summary for the people in the internet, because the micro is really near. The Professor George Weber is asking to Juan Francisco what is the general impression about the MITIC project to apply the results obtained here in the local or regional area in Portugal and Spain to go through the global hero approach.
Yeah, that's the question, no? Yeah.
I think that if this result is very important, not only for in our region. The result can be
What to the other countries? Yeah.
generalized to the other countries.
In my opinion, I worked in this project with Papa. The target group is, in our opinion, it's not the important. We are looking for several perfect and proof levels of the nurses. We interest in laparoscopic application. Okay, and this model, in our opinions, of course, is separated to other countries with other philosophical knowledge to the training side. It's not a problem in our opinion.
Yes, I think that it's very similar as the surgical kit, which is for surgeons, and it would be
the role of nurses between surgeons. It's different. The nurses in the proof of a nurse is different in each country, of course, in comparing with a surgeon, for example. In Spain and in Portugal, we have several differences between the training for surgeons and the training of nurses. Okay.
We are starting this local project, not local, but more focused project here in Spain and Portugal, because there are a growing expectation between different specialties. Nursing is one of them, that are a demanding competence to apply all this knowledge in the real operating theater. Every more time, the nurse have more and more competence in the real practice for the minimal invasive surgery, and they need to supporting surgeons. They need to make sometimes they developing different parts of the procedure. At the beginning, the preparation of the patient. Sometimes at the end, they need to have the final step of the procedure to recover the patient and all of this. So, from our point of view, we have noted that it's another possible clients for the training. So in this way, we are testing the acceptance of the contents for them, and in this case, we have a lot of expectation from his side. So maybe in Europe we can focusing on a
Similar
new.
as surgically, which is formulate for surgeons at a European level curriculum. And this would be interesting that in a European level, but how to say, a standardized curriculum put together for the persons.
I think that's an important question. The financial resources for nurses are very different for the surgeon for the nurses in Spain and Portugal, for example. Maybe in other countries of Europe are very similar, but in Spain and Europe, the demand of nurses training is poor because they have not more financial resources. Okay, in comparing with surgeons, for example. Yeah, that's a very important question.
So if that's all, I will like to thank again all participants in the speaker sessions and for all of attendance. And I hope that we can organize this kind of virtual meeting more times. I think that is really useful and practical for all the people connecting in a virtual way. I can have better use of our resources. No traveling, no spending in hotel, etc. So thank you very much, all of you, and we'll keep in contact to make future events.
Okay.
Thank
you for your attention.
Bye bye, Susan. Bye bye, Joanna.
See you soon, friend.